So everybody out there, Team Easton, Easton Nation, we're pumped to have Cristal Brown with us this morning. She is the head coach for Idaho State, the Bengals up there in Pocatello, Idaho. Just took over the program, had a very interesting year one with probably 20 games or so. What drew you to Idaho State?
You know, I mean, if I'm just being 100% honest, it was the athletic director, literally speaking. But you know, I was up in Spokane for about 8 years and loved the Northwest. And so when I started talking to Pauline, and I wasn't really actively looking to leave where I was, but we started having conversations about ISU and the direction that she wanted to take the athletic department, and then also obviously the softball program. And I love the Rocky Mountain region as well, and really just bought into, like I said, the direction that she wanted to head Bengal athletics and the softball program. And I felt like my coaching style, my purpose for coaching, the reason why we do what we do was in line with why she does what she does, and the direction she wanted the programs to go in. And so I really couldn't say no to the opportunity to go make that difference.
Great stuff. And they support pretty good up there. Beautiful facilities, great school, beautiful area. Tell us a little bit about Pocatello real quick. Most people have no idea where it is. So tell them about the area.
Yeah, so Pocatello is a smallish city. It's not tiny. It's got all of your, you know, people from big cities maybe tend to think that you don't have your modern conveniences, but they do. So they've got everything that you could possibly need in a city, but it is a small town feel. So it's a little bit rare, you know, west of the Mississippi to get very many college town feels, right? You know,
Yeah.
like. And I grew up in California, and so I know exactly what it's like to have several institutions within your state, and it's just a different thing. Pocatello is a true college town, so
Sure.
here we are, you know, in the West, but yet you've got this entire community that is all about Idaho State University, and so in that way, it's really cool. And then just from a geographical standpoint, I mean, you're right in Yellowstone, you're right by the Rocky Mountains, you're 2 hours from Salt Lake City, and all of the major conveniences of being in a big sponsor sports and things like that. So if you're somebody who likes to kind of be out in country and just beautiful country, but still be able to get to all kinds of things, I mean, it's a pretty cool deal.
And you guys compete in the Big Sky. So you've got, I mean, that's a travel. Like, there's some travel in the Big Sky, right? Like, you're motoring around a lot of states to get to some. What's the furthest place you guys play?
Gosh, I haven't done it miles wise, but conference, probably like when we go to Sac State.
Yep.
You know, I mean, there's some good long bus rides, but we always talk about how, even though we maybe complain about those long bus trips, at the same time, everyone acknowledges that that's when you come together as a team.
That's where you build the character and family. I used to love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing cards on the bus with your buddies, like, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. You're not distracted by all of the other things that are going on, and you're just together.
Yeah. I don't even remember wins and losses in my life. I remember, like, the fun stuff we did with the guys. Great stuff. So for people out there who don't know who you are, so you've coached at quite a few places, and I was going through it this morning. It's an interesting path. So you coached some high school. Yep. You won a California CIF section title, which is very hard to do. You coached at the Masters for a while, and then you jumped to Valencia High School. And I was thinking about this. You and I probably even crossed paths there, because you coached with, good gosh, what is that? D? Is it D or Dawn? Who is the coach? Donna, right? I used to be out there all the time, so you were probably there.
Very well could have been, yeah. So I actually started at Valencia. That was my first teaching job at a college. Well, as I was getting my teaching credential, I was helping out as an assistant at the Master's College in Santa Clarita.
Got it. Yep.
That was a natural transition, obviously, over to Valencia, right there in Santa Clarita, and coaching and teaching history there. And honestly, yeah, my path is unique because I did not set out after my playing career was over to become a college coach. Even though I was helping as an assistant at that point in time, it wasn't like I was saying, man, in 15 years, I'm really going to see myself as this, Division I softball coach. I had kind of always, I knew I wanted to teach. I loved history, but I knew I just wanted to make an impact in the lives of young people. And I knew teaching could do that. And how awesome would it be if I could kind of coach at the same time? And then these doors just kind of started to open. And I really think that coaching is teaching. And after spending 8 years in a classroom, public school setting, and now having been a head coach in the college arena for more than 8 years, being able to make those comparisons is absolutely teaching. And coaching is just cool because curriculum doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's an awesome path. I mean, and it's true. Like, you probably didn't, the doors just opened and everything fell into place. And so then you take over at Whitworth, which is a D3. You turned it into a D3 powerhouse, and boom, then you're in Pocatello running the Bengals softball program. And so this season was a strange one, right? COVID-19 hit, season's over. You guys, you racked up a couple nice wins versus a Power 5 team in Purdue, took down Colorado State. You guys were getting on a roll, and then it's over. So how do you guys carry that momentum that you were starting to have into 2021? How do you stay ready for when you get back on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all just really excited. I mean, if you have to cut your season short the way that everybody's season was cut short, we could not have asked for a better stopping point. We don't know what was going on. We hope that it would be along those same kind of train of path that we were on prior to ending, but we have that on our minds. And so we know that we were coming together as a team, really well during that time. We were firing on all cylinders as far as the game was concerned. And we were just really finding the groove. And mentally, for us that's what our point is, we're able to pick that up. Going and we've got just a bunch of learners that have that mindset, and they're really doing all of this with a positive, enthusiastic mindset.
It's great. And I mean, you've got a young team. You got a lot of young players. You had a girl, I think, this year, God, and I thought I put it down, number 14 in the nation in batting average with a 492 clip. Holy mackerel. So you're returning a lot of good players next year that have experience now. How important is that?
It's critical. I mean, because we do have a young group coming in, a large young group as well, and you definitely want to make sure that you have a mix of the right people before, and you can help pull those other along and teach them the way. And so the fact that you have those people who have done it for 1, 2, 3 years already, down and what the commitment means, and can help, teach those young ones without them having it all bruised up, going through it themselves, is valuable.
Yep. So I wanted to mention, so you were a player back in the day you were a JUCO bandit. They call them JUCO bandits. So you played JUCO Bakersfield College, and then you moved into Azusa Pacific, and you were, I think, an All-American athlete over there. And as a coach, we already talked about high school, D3, NAI. How do you think playing and coaching at all of those different places and different levels prepares you to be a really good recruiter at a D1?
Yeah, I think that so this is really interesting for me. I think a lot about this because I'm about coaching at levels. I just don't. And probably, as you mentioned, it has a lot to do with the fact that I didn't just play at levels. I played the game because I loved it. We don't have the time to get my background and why I ended up at JC, all of that. But I obviously understand the value in what a junior college experience can be to a lot of young women. And so I'm just really thankful for my experience in these areas. I understand the value of athletics regardless level,
Sure.
I mean, I'm no more valuable as a coach today because I'm at D1 than I was last year or the 8 years before that level,
Yep.
And I genuinely believe that it's not about the level that I'm coaching at. But that being said, I go out, maybe I think that I don't know that I was, you had a lot of players, and this is great if they have that opportunity. They play at the D1 level. They've been coached up and taught up by their D1 coaches, and then they become the grad assistants at the D1 level, and then the assistants, and so on and so forth. And they know no other way. I'm not even sure I do it like everybody else does it. That makes sense, because sorry, my dogs are going crazy. I've not been brought up in that arena that way. And so I think that we just naturally go after what we know and the qualities that we're looking for.
Yep, I get it. It makes sense. I think I understand. Players have to love the game no matter where they play, right? And a coach still has to coach those players wherever they are. You're as important as you are to those 20 girls at a D1 as you are at a JUCO.
Absolutely.
So I totally get it. I was a JUCO guy. I know it. Yeah. All right. So listen, let's wrap this up, and I want you to tell us about the facility that you guys have at Idaho State. Tell us about Miller Ranch. The park is beautiful. Tell us what you have going on up there.
Yeah, so facility is gorgeous. It's located, and you can find pictures online, but it's located in the middle of what is known as Bart's Park, right? And it's actually what a lot of people don't know. I'm a huge animal lover, as you can hear my dogs in the background. Is Bart's Park is actually an off-leash, unfenced community dog park.
There you go.
So I told Pauline, I was like, all you would have had to have done was just tell me that my field was literally smack dab in the middle of a dog park, and I would have signed on. But it is just beautiful with the mountains in the background. And then what we've done is Pocatello, we're getting that snow, right? So we just this last season, we installed 2 drop-down batting cages in Holt Arena. And so we turfed area within right now where we can go in, cuts in, and get some turf space to get our fundamentals in, which is valuable in the winter months leading of our season. So that's been a nice upgrade. And then we're hoping going forward, we've been putting in motion getting a facility, an indoor facility put out on Bart's Park adjacent to our. And
so you've got your own place right there.
Our own, right? And
yeah.
We don't have scheduling with the other teams that also need to get into Holt Arena. And so it'll have a trickle effect across the department and across the programs at Idaho State, and it'll help a ton. So we're hoping that within the next few years that we can actually reflect and have this really cool, beautiful indoor facility where we can run infield and batting practice.
Do you guys have, I've seen pictures of the clubhouse too. It's beautiful. Is that up at Holt or is that at your field?
At our field. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah. So our locker room is really awesome.
It is.
Opens up right into our dugout. So we've got great sunken dugouts that you walk into the hallway, which goes right into our clubhouse. And has a nice lounge area and lockers that were handmade by a Pocatello community member.
Nice.
So it's really neat.
That is awesome. I mean, that to me as a player, that's what you want. That builds that culture. That builds the team. So good stuff happening up there for you in Pocatello. We love having the Bengals on Team Easton. Cristal, thanks for joining us today. Can you give the players out there watching a last bit of advice for what they can do to stay ready to get back on the field whenever they can?
I think right now, so I think the hard part was the last 8 weeks or so, right? When it was the end of the semester and things were really very different. But right now, if we can be in the mindset that right now, everybody's in a place that they would be normally. Most people's seasons would be, well, almost every season, right? We'd be in the College World. Everybody's seasons would be over, and we would all already be saying, what are we going to do in the next 10 to 12 weeks to make sure we're ready? That's what our team is doing, and we've gotten on our normal, what would be a normal summer workout schedule that I feel like it's so important that it's very well balanced and not too much, but that they're just staying in it in a really reasonable way. And staying connected with each other. So I just think if we can look at it right now, like this is what we do every summer. And before you know it, we're all going to be back out on the field come fall, hopefully. You know, and certainly in Idaho State, it seems like that's the case.
Good stuff. Let's keep the hope out there, everybody, and we will be back on the field. Cristal, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being on Team Easton.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Stay safe. Stay ready. Bye, guys.
Bye.